Hey guys, it is Rezin here, and today we are going to be looking into some XNA tutorials. Yeah, that was a little dramatic. But yes, we are going to be looking into some XNA tutorials, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to do, how to do this. We're going to be moving around. You guys are going to actually look left and right. It's going to have tile mapping. You're going to be able to shoot. I'm going to show you how to do the shoot timer. You actually do get money. Down here, for every wave, the waves go infinitely. It automatically calculates how many enemies, and everything should be spawned. I don't know what happened to that guy, but okay. And then you get 30 seconds in between waves, and then every 10 waves is a boss zombie, and every, multiple of 10, so, on wave 10 you'll get one boss, on wave 20 you'll get 2 bosses, and on wave, 30 you'll get 3 or 4 bosses. Or it can be on wave 30 you get 3 to 9 bosses, or something like that. It can be random, it can be whatever you guys want. This is fully customizable. This is also the easiest way to make a tile map. There's some pretty complicated stuff out there, and this isn't the real way they want you to do it, but it works sometimes even better than the way they want you to do it. So let's get started with it. So you're going to want to install Microsoft Visual Studios, and you're going to also want to install XNA, and both of the downloads are going to be in the description. So, and then once you have it installed, you're going to go File, New, Project, and you're going to go to Visual C, and you're going to go Windows Game. And in the name, you can type in whatever you want. I'm going to type in Zombie Game. Press Enter. So you're going to have all this stuff show up. If this is your first time, it's going to look rather complicated. It's not going to really... It's pretty intimidating. You shouldn't be intimidated. I'm going to delete all these note things. That's what these double backslashes are. They're notes, quote unquote. So I'm just going to delete all of them because they're kind of annoying. Well, not kind of. They are very annoying. So once I get done with that, we can continue. And in this very video, all we're going to be doing is finishing the tile map. In the next video, we will do a collision and then simple things in each video. Each video should be no longer than 25 to 30 minutes long. And if it is, I apologize, but I'm trying to keep the video smaller than that. This is also a new channel, I forgot to mention that, so if you like this video, please subscribe, it will really help. And as well, there's going to be more videos coming out, so why not? And this is also very simple. So, sorry for that self-promotion. Shameless. Okay, so we're going to be doing something up here. Right under Public Class Game 1. This is your main class. This is what everything is going to go in between this bracket and this bracket. So, right under the Graphics Manager and Sprite Batch, we're going to make one line in between. And we're going to do Region, and you're going to do Variables. If you want to do this. This is just for organization. Then hashtag end region you don't even need the end region variables. And what this does is in between here we can type code, and then we can use this minus thing to make that code disappear. So it makes our code kind of neater. If you don't want that, you don't have to have it, but that's what region does. And you can put regions anywhere. You can even put regions inside of regions, which is what we may be doing later in the video, but for now we should be good. So for what we're going to be doing first, we're going to make a texture map, which is going to control, so in our, how do I explain this to you guys? In our map our tile map, you're going to be able to put a number between, you can put 0 would be the sky, 1 would be the grass, and then 2 would be the dirt. And you're gonna be 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, and then you're gonna want to draw dirt in here. And then under that, you're going to want to draw, grass. So what this, I didn't even tell you what we're going to do. What this texture map list will do is it'll list those numbers, the 1, the 0, and the 2. And that will tell it what to do. It'll all make sense later on. I'm just trying to explain it the best of my abilities. So you're going to make a new list. To make a new list, you just do list, and then you tell it what list you want. We want a list of texture 2Ds. What a texture 2D is this any PNG or JPEG image. And there may be other file types that it supports. I don't actually know all the file types. We're going to call it texture map. You can call it whatever you want. Just keep note of the name. And we're going to do equals new list. Oh, I didn't even... Okay, equals new list, and then you do the open bracket, and then texture 2D. So the list, texture 2D, texture map, is making a new texture 2D list. It's kind of complicated, but it's also kind of not. So now what we're going to head into is load content. Sorry, I've got this all retyped because there is a lot of code. So we're going to go into load content, and we're going to add a new texture 2D to texture map. So we're adding a new texture 2D to the texture map list. So to add a new texture 2D to any list, to add anything to any list, you're going to do the list name .add. And in this case, we're going to add a texture 2D. Now we're in load content. And what that is where you can load any picture you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab a picture from the other game. And what we're going to load first, what we're going to load first is we are going to load the dirt. So the dirt, I'm going to take it, and you can make, you make anything you want in a 32 by 32 bit pixel picture. If you're gonna change it, then you'll have to change the pixel size later on. Just get a picture and make sure it's the same size. So if you're doing 16 by 16, make sure it's 16 by 16, a 1-to-1 ratio. If you're doing 10 by 10, then it's gotta be, that's a 1-to-1 ratio. 32 by 32. I hope you see the pattern. So I'm just gonna drag the default dirt texture, which is going to be tile 1, into the content. Right here it says content, zombie game, and then content. I'm going to drag it into there. You want to drag it into there and not up here. Make sure it's in content. And then you'll see it is right here, and you'll see the name. And you're going to want to take note of that name because we're going to load it right here. So you may be thinking, how do we load a texture? So we're in load content. So as I explain later, that allows us to load textures. So we're going to do content.load, and then we're going to tell it what to load. I believe. I hope I'm right. Yes, sorry. And then we're going to I was thinking of another thing. So you're going to tell it what to load. So we're going to content.load. We're going to load in a texture 2D, and we're going to tell it where it's located, which is we're going to open up another bracket. And we're going to make it a string variable. And we're just going to load in, we want to load in this. So we're going to load in tile 1. And you don't need to type in .jpeg because it automatically detects that. Put a semicolon at the end. So you will be done after that. Now your texture, one of your textures is loaded. Now I'm going to add in one more texture. And it's going to be tile 2. And that is the actual grass. So to add in another texture, so this is going to be 0. In our array, this is going to be 0. The dirt is going to be 0. And then we're going to add in another one for tile 2. So when we make our map later, 0 is going to be tile 1, and 1 is going to be tile 2. It's kind of complicated. Pretty much you're adding. So if you wanted to add another one, then you do wherever you wanted it to be. So if I wanted tile 2 to be the 0, I just put it above this. It loads in order. So the first one you load is going to be 0, and then the second one is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I hope you understand that. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm sorry, guys. So once you've got that up, so now we've loaded 2 textures. Now what we want to do is we want to make a map. So why is that? Let me see if I can compile this to fix the... What? I'll be right back, guys. Yep, figured out the problem. Okay, so we forgot to put the thing at the end and then a semicolon. So you have to put the open bracket and close and then a semicolon. Awesome, sorry about that. So now we need to make the actual map. So let's make a whole new region first. So let's do region, and then map, and then end region. So now we made a region inside of a region. So if we type in here, we can either close it from here, or we can close the entire variable slot. That's a little bit higher explanation of what region does. So we're going to int, and then we're going to do comma, so that's kind of an infinite list. Wait, sorry. Okay, you gotta make a new list, and we're going to make a list of integers. Like I said earlier, the map is going to be 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, stuff like that. And this integer map, no, I was right. Sorry, I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so you're going to do it like this. This is going to make an infinite, kind of like, infinite integer. Why is it doing that? There. Okay, it's going to make kind of an infinite integer thing. You'll see how later. But this, and then we're going to call it map equals new int, and then, keep on pushing Z. Having trouble typing it. Darn it. Sorry, guys. We're going to do int, and we're going to do it like that. So this is going to allow us to make a huge list of integers. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make, this is where it gets a tiny bit complicated. You're going to want to make an open and close like that. You want to do 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. Just keep on doing it. And then we're going to do, at the very end, you want another comma to make sure you have another comma at the end. And then another comma. You just want to copy and paste this 5 or 6 times, and you're going to have to modify this later depending on your screen size. And then down here, we're going to put 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. So, there we go. Now what we're going to want to do is, so what this is doing, wait, why do I have an error here? Oh yeah, you have to put semicolon, yeah, sorry about that. So what we're doing is 0, okay, we load, this is calling from our, this is later on, this is going to be related to our texture map. So 0 in our texture map, remember, is the first one we loaded, so that is tile 1, which is dirt. So we're essentially just making a bunch of dirt. At the very bottom, we're doing the second one we loaded, which is the actual grass. So we're going to have a bunch of dirt and then grass. And that is going to be our first tile map we made in this tutorial. So the next thing you want to do is you're going to draw this tile map. And usually this is the part that catches people. So let me just help you guys. This is a pretty simple way of doing it. So you should be able to do it pretty darn easily. You'll give me a second. Okay, I had a little problem. Okay, so in here, you're going to want to make a new region called tile map, because this is going to get pretty darn long. And region. Unless you don't want it. This is totally optional. So for integer y equals 0, comma, the y is less than map.getLength 0, and then y plus plus. So for each y, okay, getLength 0, there's 0 and there's 1. 0 is the y, and 1 is the getting length of the y, and 1 is getting the length of the x. So right here it returned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because there were 7 rows. So it would return 7. For each time 7 is less than, or for each time, we do this pretty much 7 times. The best way of explaining it. So we run the code in between this 7 times. So again, now we need to do it for each x. So int x equals 0, and then x is less than map.getLength, and this time we're going to do the 1, because 1 is going to give us the x value. Then we're going to do x plus plus. So now inside of here, we're going to do int index equals map y comma x. It's kind of weird because you usually do x, y. I assure you this is not an error, it is y comma x. It's pretty weird, and I actually don't know why they have it like that. So we're going to do if the index doesn't equal -1. So -1 is going to be our sky. So let's just put a -1 here randomly. So that's going to be a sky picture where it's just blue. Instead of having any texture, it's going to have blue. Why is that giving me an error? Is that down there? Yes, okay, good, it's down there. Okay, so if the index doesn't, so if it's going to be a sky, the default color that this XNA draws is blue. So if it's a sky, 1, let's not even draw anything there. Let's just skip that place. So if it doesn't equal 1, then we're going to do texture 2D. Texture 2D. I can't type today at all. Texture equals texture map. Texture map. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. Texture map and then index. Gosh, I am so sorry. I can't type at all. Alright. So, we're getting the index. So we're getting the exact number. So the index is the exact number. So we are setting the index to be the exact number right here. So if the index is whatever many over and whatever many down, I just messed it up, then it is going to be this one right here. So that is what this index variable down here is. So if the, so we're set, okay. Now this texture map index, so pretty much you can call the exact texture. So we're calling texture map is that list. So in that list, we're gonna get the list with this, with the time it's loaded. So index. So if the index equals 0, so if the index is 0, then we're gonna get from texture map the first one that's loaded. I hope that's good enough explanation. And then we're gonna sprite batch dot draw. Oh, we forgot something, but I can fix that in a second. So this is gonna let us draw something. So we're gonna draw the text that we're gonna We're gonna draw texture, comma, texture map, comma space, new rectangle. Okay. So we're drawing this texture, so we're drawing the actual one that is listed in the map. And we're gonna draw it at this location. So this new rectangle is the location. So we're gonna do x times, okay, what I'm gonna put here is the size of the texture. So mine is 32 by 32, so I'm gonna put times 32. Whatever yours is, if yours is 16 by 16, you're gonna put 16 here. And as well as y times 16. Or 32, sorry. Because mine is 32 by 32, so I'm going to do 32 here and 32 here, comma space 32, comma space 32. And then we'll also need to put, and then we're going to put white, not wheat, white. So what this is, let me explain this a bit more. We're drawing the texture in the tile map, whatever one is loaded, so the index, so let's just say we're drawing dirt. So we're going to draw texture 1, which is dirt, and then we'll drawing it, and this is location we're going to draw it, and this is the color, like, this is kind of like the blend color. If you do color.red, it's going to kind of shade it red. So, let's try it. We may get an error. Yeah, I don't even know why that happened. I don't know why that happened. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. We need to do some... No. Why am I getting an error? Oh, sorry, I forgot that I said I have to do something. I never did it. Up here at the very beginning of TileMap, right before you do region TileMap, you need to do sprite batch.begin. This is going to begin a new sprite batch. And then at the very bottom, you're going to do sprite batch.end. I will explain that in a later tutorial. Sorry, I totally forgot that. So now we will get a correct tile map. So as you can see, this is a tile map we drew. So right here, the default, we need to make it longer because our screen size is longer, but the default, so is 0, 0, so the dirt, and then -1, we have the blue right here. And then the dirt is the green right here. The mouse isn't showing up. Well, I can fix that in a later tutorial for you guys. But we have the -1 is showing up right here. And then we have the dirt, which is all around. And then we have the 1, which is loading here. And that's because we loaded them in this order. If we were to load them in a different order, like if I loaded texture 2 first, then texture 2 in here is going to be 0. And the dirt, so the grass is going to be 0, and then the dirt is going to be 1. Because we loaded it like that. So there you go, guys. That is a basic tile map tutorial. The next tutorial we're going to be doing collision, and it is so simple, guys. You don't even need to worry. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.